welcome to the Nerd Word. I'm Landis.
I'm Steve.
I'm Matan.
I'm Machi.
And today we're going to be talking about Ages of S03E07, Season 3, Episode 7.
Chaos Theory.
So we start off with...
Hawaii.
So we find out finally what happened between May and Andrew. And they're like Ross and Rachel to me. We find out whether or not together, and we find out that he is indeed Lash, and he was transformed. My issue is that we got this really good bad guy that we kind of wasted.
I feel like they're going to bring it towards Civil War, being they're going to release the Inhumans that have been put into stasis. Now you're going to start seeing Inhumans against the Avengers, but Ward is going to kind of help make that happen. He's going to try to recruit these Inhumans to go against Coulson.
The movies and the TVs have been divided. I would love that they actually use the Inhumans for something bigger, because Civil War in the comic books is everyone fighting each other. It's a wasted bad guy. We have too many baddies, and I really wanted to see Lash. He was, like you said last week, the Hitler of the Inhumans. You know, I wanted to see that play out.
Why is he no longer blue?
Was he blue in that first episode?
Yes, he was blue.
I feel like what's going to happen is Ward is going to release some of the Inhumans, one of them being Lash, and try to recruit him and basically go, now we need to take down S.H.I.E.L.D.
Isn't that exactly what Garrett did, though, at the end of Season 1?
Yeah. It wasn't Inhumans, though.
No, but it was still dangerous people, some of whom were powered.
And that's why I was excited about Lash. It could have been a real threat. He's annihilating a species. That could have been a mega level event that they could have had to deal with.
So they've set up quite a challenge for themselves to make that a really compelling character. Now, I think that there's potential for the Andrew character to become, to separate from the group.
How is he going to get released? And that's where I think...
Yeah, and I think he has to completely lose it and go off the deep end in order to gain back the fear that was there of this unknown character.
Rosalind is working with the baddies, so anyone they're collecting could be for a purpose.
Or is she? There's a lot of confusion over the silver-haired guy. We're not really getting a clear idea as whose side he's on. So there's that. So even if she's working with him, we don't know if he's on the side of Hydra, or if he's on the side of S.H.I.E.L.D., or if he's just independent. It's possible that she's working him, so like if he is Hydra, she could be like trying to do like an undercover sort of thing with the Hydra guy. I either need Coulson to be doing that with her, like they're on the same team on this, or she's doing it for him and she's actually on his side, because I can't have Coulson be duped by somebody, because he needs to be the fearless leader that we trust.
I think they're going to make her the villain, and he's going to be duped, and now he's going to be brokenhearted.
If the guy is Hydra, if she's working with him and she's trying to get one over on Coulson, I need him to know that. I need him to be onto that right now, and that's kind of why this like gross thing is happening. But I need it to be that he's aware that she's doing this, and he's working her too, and she's the one getting duped.
I feel like we may see that. We haven't seen it yet. We may, but I feel like he's just getting duped right now. That's what we've seen.
I feel like that's the impression we're supposed to be getting. That can't be the end of the line. It's gotta be he either knows about it, he's in on it, or he's fully aware of it and he's playing her.
See, I get a feeling. I think that they're setting up Daisy as that person that realizes it and brings him back. I don't like it, and I don't want it. But based on getting rid of a big baddie right now for no reason, he hasn't been with her, he hasn't been too smart. He saw people being put in prisons. And true, they're Inhumans that could be hurt, but he just bought her bullshit, her line.
But that's almost why I feel like he's got to be playing her, because it was too easy.
I hope he gets his heart ripped out of his chest, Indiana Jones style, in the Temple of Doom, and she shows it to him, and then he just loses it. He goes berserk.
We don't really know who Lincoln's parents are, right? Do you think they could play the role where Lincoln finds out that Rosalind is his mother? And the reason I think that is maybe that's where they are coming with the whole she's working with powers to try to at least sway them to go in a different way and not go kind of regurgitate what they've been doing. I doubt it's gonna happen.
I am so over this Pulp Fiction looking motherfucker. Seriously?
I love it.
Okay.
I love that.
I hate it. I'm so over it. I'm done with it.
She just doesn't like the haircut.
I don't like her whole face. And this is where I'm going to agree with Brittany. I do not like her face.
I will say the whole show is starting to feel rather incestuous. You know what I mean? Like everyone is starting to get it on with everyone else. Pretty soon we're going to find out that like the Powers Booth character is somebody's father in the group.
And or it might be Lincoln's father. Like that's kind of why I'm thinking of these things. We've seen it so many times. Now Andrew's Lash and Ward was Hydra and Rosalind might be Hydra. that seems to almost like a red herring,
think
kind of like
Will-
Yeah.
Will is gonna be Simmons' brother
Yeah,
separated
like
at birth.
something weird.
Actually, I'm fine with that because then
Yeah.
because they didn't sleep together.
Of course not.
Of course not. No, they're not.
Stuck only 2 people on a planet
Oh,
together.
we're only 2 people and we're gonna die? We're
No.
gonna bone.
Yeah.
No,
Bone.
it was just gross kissing. Just like Phil and Rosalind, there's no boning there. It's just gross
that
kissing.
hand has several settings that we don't know about that were used. The only light at the end of the tunnel for me is that I know they have to fill 22 episodes, and we're only at 7. And I'm kind of hoping by episode 13, which is a long way away, everything ties together in a nice little mesh that makes sense. My only saving grace is that Fitzsimmons episode, the solo episode. That's the only thing that got me back into the show, because if they didn't have that, I'll be like, okay, that's enough. Let's get to the most important stuff, which is the love story of Fitzsimmons. As an actor, his scene just watching the video, man, fucking Emmy.
Thank
I'm just
you.
saying.
That's
I'm
what
just
I
saying.
said. I
Fuck
said
Just
Oscar,
take all of
but
the
I meant
Emmys,
fucking-
round them all
fucking
up,
Emmy.
and just shove
Yeah.
them in
He
you.
deserved it from the first 2 episodes and this
Yeah,
one.
if anyone, is
100%.
the only reason I'm watching this show is for that one actor. That's it.
Am I the only one who wanted him to actually sack up and kiss her at that moment? You
I
know?
did.
No, literally everybody. The entire fandom is like, that was the moment.
Because I feel like he was a little, his ego was still a little wounded.
I'm kind of with him, because if you care about somebody and there's somebody in the way, I don't want to kiss you in that moment because I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I don't know what I'm bringing back, if you're going to go with him. I don't want to have my heart broken.
All the more reason too.
No,
I
because-
agree,
no.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that also because it is one of those things. See, she asked him, knowing that he loves her, she goes, I need you to save this guy that I've been with for X amount of months. That I need you to save him. But then now we're at a sunset. So if I were him, I would be wounded with ego, and I wouldn't do it.
She's putting the ball in his court because she's basically like, I'm confused and I'm conflicted and I'm looking to you. She's always looked to him for help when she can't figure something out. This is something she can't figure out. She gave him the phone with a SIM card, knowing full well what she had recorded on it for him. And then she was like, here, fix it. And then there's some interesting stuff on there that you might want to see, knowing that he's brilliant and he's going to do it. And then he comes to her and he's like, hey, so, I saw that video. And then he even tries to give her an out. He's like, listen, you were dehydrated, you were confused. And she's like, no, I wasn't. I was as clear-headed then as I've ever been.
From his position, he has to save this guy. I can't do that because I know that when this guy comes back, I'm just setting myself for a heartbreak.
He doesn't know that.
No, he's smart. He knows this. I like this guy. He has to bring this guy back. He saw the video. He doesn't know if there's anything there. So I'm with him. We're like, no. It's like when you date somebody who just broke up. Has it been 6 months? No, we'll talk in 6 months.
I think it's more he wants to bring him back and kind of win her of his own merit and be like, here's the other guy, here I am.
I get that he's smart enough to not make it messy, because if they now get together, when that guy comes back, because he will come back, then she's going to be torn, and that breaks their relationship.
That's all the more reason he's got to lock it down. He's got to put a ring on it and put a friggin' bun in that oven. Be a man.
Be a man.
So they can settle down and
okay, so be a man.
She's inviting him to do that.
You do want them to bone.
Well,
a lot.
Come on, even Will wants them to bone. He's like, Fitz is your favorite word. And she's
Okay,
like, fuck yeah, it is.
Was anyone else a favorite line of that?
Hog
face.
face.
That was my
There's a
favorite line.
hog face.
He has a hog face. Oh, yeah, he does have a hog face.
Hunter is the biggest Fitzsimmons shipper. He's the captain of the Fitzsimmons ship.
Starship Fitzsimmons.
All right. Now that we saw that she kind of gave him a door, where do you think that's going? When he was watching the video, he was kind of like flipping, like, do I? So I don't know where he's going. I think he's like on the border of like not knowing what to do.
I think he's just confused, and he's not going to know how she feels until he can get Will in the same room. He's trying to make this work, one, because she wants it, and two, because he's like, until she makes a choice, like, it's not really my decision. It's out of my hand. He's trying to make everything fall into place so that she can make her decision, and he's hoping it'll be him.
Yeah. What are you waiting for, dude? What are you waiting for? And she gave him an open invitation.
He found that what we thought was a NASA symbol was actually the secret society symbol. So what do we think about that?
He says a small group within NASA. It's not NASA did this mission. It was like this weird subgroup of it.
Yeah.
It's not really NASA doing it. It was like some faction of it that could have been like serving some other purpose.
Ulterior, possibly sinister motive. Bringing him back could be a huge mistake.
Well, I think that's why Fitz is doing research, because he's trying to figure out who this guy is.
Yeah.
Can we talk about when did they take this selfie? Because the phone died before they hooked up.
It did die, But I think it's one of those continuity things that said, let's do something where they look cute, so give them something to go.
I do think she has a point because they have that romantic moment after it dies. That kind of picture is a very kind of like, we're together now, we're a couple now.
They just did it as a vehicle so he sees something of them together. He hasn't crossed the line either or. He's like right in the middle of like, do I do the good thing, the right thing, or do I go bad? As usual, tell us what you think. Subscribe. Check out our sketch comedy every Thursday. My name is Landis.
Steve.
Matan?
Richie?
And we'll see you next week. Stop that.
What do I do with my hands?
No.
Are you ticklish?
No.
You're not ticklish?
He's out of here.
This is how professional we are.
So you two like get it on after an episode of this?
Totally.
Yeah, I figured.
We dress up as Fitzsimmons first.
Anytime.
I was a given.
I have it on like record.
Well, you're a smart man. That's why.
Can I stay here tonight?
Fuck you.
Welcome to the Nerd Word. I'm Landis.
I'm Steve.
So, just fuck you all.
Fuck you! I was with you!
Oh shit.
Oh, hey. Every time.
Go.
You can't be in the show.
Okay, go. And fuck you.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just stay consistent, would you,
Thank you,
please?
Seinfeld.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
good reference.
We've both been right. You've been horribly wrong. You've been horribly wrong. But we've both been right. There's some. That
Worst cameraman ever.
that is our British cameraman, camerawoman.
Sorry. We filmed for half an hour and the edit is 10 minutes long.
I'm learning.
We
And
won't
theirs is
care.
the only love that's pure.
You are sucking that fandom dick. You are just.
Hey,
It's Falola or bust, and fuck you.
that's
It was
the
just-
worst time to be put into the friend zone. I know you're the only guy here, but
You're like a brother to me.
He's tittering in that edge of like, should I help him or should I go bad?
Tittering?
I don't know.
Teetering.
I don't know. I'm
It is.
tired.
Teetering.
Tutoring.
Teetering.
Tittering.
Are we still rolling? This is not usable in any way. I'm hungry.